you know?
Did you say a little hitch in your get along?
Yeah. Like, you know. It's my hip. It was my hip.
I need to find a pencil, and I need to write this down.
Have you seriously never heard that term?
Hitch in your get along?
Yes.
No, but I'm writing it down right now. Hitch
Yes.
in your
Get along.
get.
Yes. I had a little hitch in my get along.
This sounds like is that a Led Zeppelin lyric?
It could be. I don't know.
Get a little hitch in your get along.
It just means, like I'm getting old and yeah. It just, I don't know.
You called it a crick?
Yes.
A crick.
A little crick.
In your back?
No, it was in my hip, and it just like it smarted a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smarted.
Yeah.
Your crick smarted.
Yeah, it kind of was like, like that. Whatever. You can't tell me that you don't get those at your age, especially.
That your crick smarted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Raylene.
Whatever. You just go with that. That you don't know what it means to get a hitch in your get along.
A hitch in your get along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what. You keep talking.
Okay.
Because that's what we have for a camera on you.
Well, perfect. That's great. Oh,
Yeah.
we love it when that happens. And, just a few minutes ago, it was working properly. So.
Do you remember the song from the Police? I think it was Regatta de Blanc was the album. I don't know. Someone can tell me and help me out here. Ghost in the Machine. Do you remember that?
I do not.
No.
I mean, I may if you knew some of the lyrics, but for me, I just don't necessarily recall lyrics. The names, song names.
Yeah.
Just click on and off it a few times, and it may come back. Oh, and now you don't have one either.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Maybe somebody's trying to tell us something today. Maybe the camera gods are saying, "Ooh, you people should not be seen today."
Mm.
You never know.
So what happened during the Monday night fiasco?
Well, everything was being wonky like this. There's another term for you. Write it down, damn it.
Wonky?
Yeah, it was. And with sound and cameras and video in and out. And but it was storming. And so we just assumed that that was the problem. But everything was very wonky. I will say that it wasn't as crazy as what we're dealing with right now with all of these missing files and cameras and
all right. Yeah, I think so. This just yeah, it is. Yeah, gremlins is what Chris Massey's saying. I think he's right. But yeah, so we don't know
you have me?
Yeah, I got you.
You have me in this mic?
Yeah.
All right. and how about with this one? Did you
Yeah.
have this mic?
Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
See, we're golden.
Just eat it up. Just eat it up. I think so.
I'll give it a whirl.
And look who's coming in right now.
Yes, I see. We have
One of the
company.
busiest ladies on the planet. Oh, yes. You can come right in, Tracy.
Welcome, welcome.
Tracy Haynes. Yeah,
Oh,
you can
you
can
brought the
talk to
stuff
us,
for
honey.
us.
Go over there and sit down.
Some flyers, some brochures on
Yeah.
our school, and
Give us
some funding information.
yeah. What is that all about?
So I have our brochure brochure,
Mm-hmm.
our VSAC funding grant information, and our business cards. I've dropped them off in little packets that you guys can pick up here.
Nice.
We want those.
Well, thank you.
We want those badly, and we want to share those with the community because
Yes.
that's.
Thank you.
So what's the deal with that? Where do we stand with that, Tracy? Tracy Haynes, by the way.
I have 36 students that I'm processing through right now. We just started 21 of them last Monday, and we're wrapping up the others. But I have 36 students we're working with right now.
Raylene, can you get
Wow.
that? Can you get that mic in front of her? Mm-hmm. How many students? 30.
36.
36.
We have 36 students right now.
Okay. Wow.
I know. I have instructors working around the clock.
Giroux General Transport are some words that you and I have been saying consistently now for quite
Hi.
a while. And it is amazing what you're doing, Tracy.
We're going to be over here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, we're going to have you sitting where Tracy's sitting.
And I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to drop these off. And we have our August is almost full already. Our August class of August 22nd is almost full. I have about 3 slots left. So if anybody is interested in getting their spot reserved in our August class sooner than later, would be great.
Yeah, get on it.
Yep, get on it. Don't hesitate.
Don't wait
Yes.
on this. 279-3325.
Yes, sir. And our
That's-
class after that won't be until October, so that'll be the last one for the summer.
All right, 279-3325 is Tracy Haynes, Giroux General Transport right here in the Granite City.
Have a great day.
And
Perfect.
it is
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, very much. So we have all that info, and we're going to pass it along to everybody. Mr. Lozon.
You are.
Tom Lozon.
It's goldenrod. Did you see
Not,
that stuff
it's Wednesday,
everywhere?
so I test on Wednesday and Friday.
What do you mean test?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
I just do a rapid test.
Oh, you do?
Well, I mean, so many people are asymptomatic. So, yeah. I mean, I just do. I see a lot of people, and
Well, that's true.
so,
That's true, Tom.
you know,
Good morning,
I
buddy.
got enough problems without making people sick, so.
Right. Hey, happy hump day. Already in the 70s across most of...
78?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, it's 78 degrees right
yeah,
now.
and it's like an Oklahoma Dust Bowl out there.
Isn't that amazing?
Every time I jump on the mower, Karen's like, "Stop! Don't!" my lawn looks like a Midwestern prairie during
Yeah.
the Depression. It's
Well, so does mine. So does mine.
pretty sad.
Hopefully,
But no, we need some rain. It's
well,
dry.
hopefully this rain that we
Yeah.
had is going to improve things a little
but
bit.
not during Heritage Festival. We
No.
don't need
Nope,
rain.
we won't.
Right.
Potential for some severe T-storms tomorrow. It's going to be one hot one today, though, near 90 with sunshine. 66 and clear tonight. I'll be out in the patio.
But
Tom,
the pool is open.
at your
Stephanie
house?
Quaranta and her staff have done
Oh, I thought you were talking about at
fabulous
your
job.
house.
I'm sorry?
Pool at your house.
Well, that's always open. I mean, it's locked and gated, but, just got to call first. That's
I'm
all,
not
so
going
we
to
can
call. I'm going to
unlock the
hop the
gate.
fence at midnight naked and get in there and skinny dip at your house, Tom.
Please don't.
All the alarms are going to go off, just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
did I mention the alarm system and that,
The
Karen can,
Dobermans.
I've seen Karen hit a playing card at 100 yards, so
Hey,
I'd be a little careful.
apparently the Mega Millions jackpot is now up to $630 million because nobody matched all 6 numbers
Yeah, but I
last
don't
night.
care. I can't play at the lottery.
Tom, you're a smart man. What is the first thing that you would do if you won $630 million? First thing, immediately, before anything else, would you call Karen? Or
Well,
would
first
you-
of all, I literally can't play the lottery.
All right.
I serve on the Board of Liquor and Lottery for the state of Vermont, and I'm precluded from even playing the lottery.
All right.
So I don't think a lot. I mean, JD, I play the lottery every day. I get out of bed, okay, and I jump into the Shark Tank. So
Yeah.
no, honestly, I don't. I realize a lot of people. I just don't play. That's all. So I don't. Really. I mean, being a tax guy and a finance guy, I probably think, okay, I'd calculate my tax liability
Right.
You're right.
first thing and be like, damn, and
Would you
probably
let-
write
would-
that check.
Would you even let Karen know, or would you just jump in your car and head for Canada?
We don't keep secrets from each other.
All right, so you would let Karen know.
Yeah, of course I would.
All right. All right. You're a good
Yeah,
man, Tom.
She's my,
You're a good
she's
man.
my rock, my right hand. So, she's the one who's got greater financial sense. I'd likely go out and do something stupid with some of the money. I'd do something dumb.
Like
I
what?
really would.
Like a big jet, buy an island?
No, not big jet, not buy an island. But I do something, I'd do something dumb.
You would?
I'd like buy a racetrack, or I'd buy a race team. Yeah, I do something dumb with some of the money. That's just, I can
So-
be. So she's the smarter of the two. Karen is very, it's always been that way. I've always been the big picture guy.
Right.
And then she's the person who fills in the blanks and makes it all work and
And tightens
you
up
know,
the ratchet
details.
straps.
yeah,
$630 million
that's a lot of money.
cash option. Take a guess. You're a numbers guy. You're a money guy. Cash
Would I-
option. Oh my God.
The taxes on that,
Yes.
counting the state of Vermont, I mean, it would approach half.
Yeah.
It would
$360
approach.
million
Yeah.
cash option.
Yeah, but how much money does a person need? Okay?
Exactly.
I mean,
That's what I
seriously.
always say.
So, there's only $300 million left over.
Yeah.
Do the math. I mean, do the math on an average person.
Right.
We were having this discussion, sort of around the campfire out at Joe's Pond, and a bunch of people were talking about it, and they were, talking in the, tens and the hundreds of billions of dollars. And
Right.
I said, do the math, average person making $100,000 a year, which is certainly a fantastic salary.
Yes.
That's on the high end.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then multiply that $100,000 a year by 40-year work life.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
40 years. Do the math.
Sure.
And figure out how much money that is, and then, compare that to hundreds of millions of dollars. It's,
And the amazing thing is, and I said this to Sherilyn last night.
I'd give a big chunk away, probably.
Me too.
Even with $360 million in the bank, that doesn't mean that you're not going to wake up with cancer tomorrow and the show is over. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. So
We came here today to talk about money and lottery.
I see that. Let's dive in. I see that Steve McKenzie is on a part-time basis now. Our new city manager has his hands on the wheel. Started this past Monday.
yeah.
And you got, please, Tom, give me the phonetics here on the last name here of Nicholas. We're struggling. I'm struggling.
Well, I mean, first of all,
Storlikas-
Steve's part-time work week is probably 40 hours a week.
Yeah, right.
We're in a good place right now.
Yeah.
I like Nicholas's energy.
Yeah.
He's jumping right in.
Thank you, Raylene. Yes.
So-
head first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the city's in a good place.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got a lot to look forward to, and the new manager certainly has. I mean, I struggled at last night's meeting with what to call. I kept getting confused because I'm so used to, for 12 years you look over at Steve and you call him the city manager.
Yeah.
Well, technically he's not. Nicholas is the city manager. So
Right.
then Teddy Wozniak started calling him city manager emeritus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of thanked him for that.
Right.
Exalted manager. I don't know. We'll settle into it. But the two of them.
Can we just call him Nicholas?
It's great to watch the synergy between Nicholas and Steve. It's I can already see it's a relationship that's really going to work well.
Right.
And so we had a few things going on last night. We appointed Oliver Twombly as the city attorney.
Yes,
as he
I
has
saw
been
that
for
on
the
the-
last
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, 30 years. Yeah, I think so. The comment from Carol and Steve was, just the institutional knowledge of the city and how that serves the city well. And so, we did that. And then we had a little bit of a discussion. I don't know if the council's upset with me, but we have to set the tax rate on we have to set the tax rate by the 2nd of August, and we have to. We don't have a choice. That is the drop dead date. And I've always hated having those discussions at the last minute,
Right.
So, I mean, setting the tax rate is just math. And, they say that traumatic events in your life shape you.
Yep.
And there was a point in time, I don't remember when it was. Carol Dawes could probably tell you, to the day when this was. But the council was setting the tax rate, and I was presiding. I was mayor at the time. And, man, we came awfully close to making a mistake.
Yeah.
We hadn't, and it was probably my math. It probably wasn't Carol's, but, we came really close to setting the tax rate incorrectly, which would have left the city with this enormous deficit. And, man, thankfully, I think it was Carol who caught the error, because there would have been no way to correct it. Well, I say that. I mean, I don't know. But, when you have a unanimous vote, you can't reconsider, the vote's the vote.
Yes.
And so we have to set that tax rate by the 2nd of August. I've got some questions about our fund balance and whether there's room within our fund balance, and whether there's a charter requirement to actually allocate some of the current fund balance. Not a ton. I mean, certainly not all of it, but some of it to reducing the municipal tax rate from what was projected. And so I want to have that discussion. Certain members of the council are pushing back a little bit, but we're going to have the discussion. So we voted. So we're going to have a meeting next week.
Okay.
We were going to skip next week. So we're going to have a meeting next week so we can devote that meeting. Hopefully it won't take too long, but, I'd like to it's a pretty important event, so I just wanted to have a dedicated conversation, and not a meeting that's, filled with a lot of other stuff, as most of our meetings are. So, so I got some questions about the fund balance and what it is. I questioned, there was a vote on December 18th of 21 to allocate $233,000 of the current fund balance to the capital fund.
Okay.
And at that time, I don't think anybody thought that the 1% local options tax had a prayer of passing. The current mayor didn't support it. And honestly, I didn't support the implementation of it at this point in time either. But the voters passed that 1% local options tax, much to the surprise of a lot of people, because it had been defeated previously. And, by all accounts, let's see, $750,000 to the capital fund on an annual basis. We're delaying implementation till October. So, give or take 3/4, 2/3 of that amount, at least $500,000 to the capital fund in this fiscal year that I think a lot of people didn't anticipate.
So a nice surplus.
The problem with the $233,000 vote is that it wasn't warned. So I went back, and I was just doing research. I was trying to figure out what exactly the fund balance was that we're working with. And as I went back, and everyone kept referencing the fact that the council had allocated $233,000 to the capital fund. So I couldn't find where they had done that. It wasn't in the current year budget. So I went back and, did my research and saw the vote. The council, in fact, held a vote on December 18th, 2021. The problem was the vote wasn't warned. It wasn't warned for action. So, I brought that to the council's attention, and, it's funny. Some people appreciate it. I think some people don't, and they think I'm just trying to be obstructionist, but I'm playing by the rules. That's, you got to warn things. And there was another $50,000 allocated to the current year budget. I could give them that because they obviously voted to adopt the budget, and the $50,000 is right there in the handout materials. So, I think any reasonable person could make that jump and say, well, that was a warned vote.
Who's doing
council can cure it if they want to, but I'm not. Procedurally, it's going to be interesting.
Who's doing the math with you?
I'm sorry?
Is there anyone doing the math with you?
Well, we have, Dawn, our finance director, Dawn's smart and capable and
she's
competent.
got a big job.
Yeah. I plan on nerding out with Dawn a little bit and doing these numbers, but it's just, it's important to me. Like even last night we allocated purchased some vehicles for public safety, 7 vehicles in total, totaling $192,000.
I see that.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Police and
but that's
fire,
okay because even absent of the 233,000, I don't think it's. I don't think it is in the capital fund. The vote wasn't warned. So even if I don't include that $233,000, city has enough money to it's a large purchase for the city, $192,000 for 7 non-emergency vehicles. But it's needed. They made the case, and they made the case successfully that's needed. So even absent the 233, the city's not broke. City was broke when I took office. Well, no, we had the cemetery fund. They had
what? Yeah.
When you rolled the cemetery fund into the general fund budget, city was broke, and we worked hard. Staff worked hard. Everyone worked hard to erase that deficit, and we did that. So the city financially, we're in a great place. I just want to have thoughtful discussions about it with accurate information.
What was Chiefs Vale and Brent saying about this?
What was the what?
What were the Chiefs saying about this?
Didn't hear you. You're way across the room.
What was the chief of police saying about this?
Well, chief of police and the exalted manager and the current manager, they were all saying the same thing. They successfully made the case for the need. Historically, the non-emergency public safety vehicles have been sort of hand-me-down vehicles, or they've been used vehicles. And I'm not sure that's always served the city's interests best because we end up with a lot of maintenance costs. So they were able to locate these vehicles, and they made the case. And the case obviously was the need. A number of people right now literally don't have vehicles. They don't have a vehicle assigned to them because the vehicle won't pass inspection. So,
right.
Again, with those 3, with the department head, the former city manager, and the current city manager, all looking at you saying, we need to make this expenditure. That makes a pretty strong case.
Sure.
So, and we have the money. Even absent the 233. Transfer. The city has the money in the capital fund. We're not broke. It's still important that we manage our money well. And, again, getting back to the fund balance, when I served, the city couldn't. It was right in the charter. We couldn't maintain a fund balance. If there was $1 left over, we had to give that back to the taxpayers. That section in the charter, I think, was from a different time when the city was run much more conservatively and not always necessarily forward-looking. And so, I don't know, a number of years before I stepped down as mayor, we put an item on the ballot, and we said, look, can we maintain a fund balance equal to 5% of our total budget? So, if you do the math, if the total budget expenditures are $10 million, can we maintain a $500,000 fund balance? So that if something happens, you lose a fire truck, you lose an ambulance, we're not borrowing money. We at least, can we just have a savings account, a modest 5% savings account? And the voters said yes. We had built up, we had done the big dig. We had done a lot of projects that we said we were going to do. I think and I think the voters reacted to how the city was being run and how it was being managed. And they said, sure, you can have that 5% fund balance. So, that being the old guy on the council, the trust that the voters put in us at that time, that's always resonated with me. So it's important to me that we follow the letter of the charter. And if it says 5% and it looks like our expected surplus or expected fund balance is more than 5%, I'm going to be looking to give that excess back to the voters in the form of tax relief. And I'm not going to react to, well, the education rate is lower. So the city taxpayers are getting a tax break anyway. Well, the education tax rate had nothing to do with us. That was COVID funds, and that was the legislature who set that tax rate. So, we control the municipal tax rate, and we have this 5% requirement in the charter, and
Wow.
So that's where I'm at. And listen, if folks go with me, they go with me. And if they don't, I don't lose sleep over this stuff, JD.
We know that inflation costs are way up. I think they're over 9% now nationally, which is
9.1, yeah.
9.1, which is like 40-plus year record.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that come off a little bit.
Are we budgeting?
I think the Fed's, the interest rate increases is starting to have its effect. Some people have said it's going double digit. I think it's going to come off. We're seeing lumber prices come down. We are, in fact, seeing energy prices come down. I don't think, it doesn't mean inflation's going to be 2% next quarter. It's not. It's going to be slightly higher than that. But I don't think I don't believe we'll see, double-digit inflation.
July 1st, the start of the budget year for the Granite City here.
Correct.
What about budgeting for fuel? This is something that you've had discussions with the city manager about.
Yeah, and we locked in, number 2 fuel. So we have locked in number 2 fuel at, I believe, $3.65 a gallon. So we can project what our cost is going to be there. That's a lot better than the $5 or $6 that they, that former manager, I struggle with that. That former manager, McKenzie, projected, just a few weeks before. So, we saw those, things are looking up. Things are looking up. It's going to cost the city a little bit of money. We had projected the higher fuel costs for around $130,000, total effect on the 22-23 budget, which, the July 1 year we just started. But offsetting that is the fact that, we have some vacancies where we have some positions that are in the budget that we have not been able to fill, and it's not for lack of trying. We're working hard to fill those critical positions. But every month that those positions go unfilled, the city saves, give or take, $40,000 and change.
Yeah.
So, so just by the end of this month, I don't see us filling those positions by, July 31st.
Yeah.
Based on the update we received last night. So that 130 becomes 90, give or take. So, we're okay. I mean, I feel good about where the city is financially. Like I said, it's just important. And as we had, I don't know if you watched the meeting last night, at times people were struggling with the numbers. Well, how much is in the capital fund and what exactly is the general fund balance? And so, again, that's why I said, look, I'd like to meet next week and just have a meeting for about an hour so we can really just look at this information so that we're all on the same page and we're all working from the same math.
Josh wants to know how long those positions have been open.
Too long. I mean, look, we're not, look at the state of Vermont. Look at the medical center. Look at National. I mean, everyone has
the town
positions.
of Berlin.
Yeah. Everyone has positions open. So, we're not, a municipality, state of Vermont, any organization, they're not immune to it.
No.
I mean, quite frankly, the larger the organization, the greater the pain because they likely have more vacancies. So, this is something, and as a professional, as a CPA, when I talk to my clients, this is the first thing. So how are things going? First, always, first thing is can't find help.
Yeah.
And they're paying good wages, good companies. And so, we're all, I think we struggle with this for the long term until our economy contracts, and it will. The economy is just a cycle. And we're seeing a bit of the contraction now, and it will contract, and the economy will shrink, and then you need less workers, and then those positions will basically be filled not because we filled them, but because we don't need them. Businesses no longer need them as the economy contracts.
Question here, why, 2 questions. What's the total current budget, and why wouldn't we have a meeting when a councilor requests one on a normal Tuesday night?
Well, they did. So with regard to the meeting, there were some folks who, I think there were a couple of no votes, and I'm not going to speculate about that. There's no value in speculating. But we're meeting, next week.
Okay.
And the total budget currently is a tick above $13 million.
Okay. The attorney vote and discussion last night.
Yeah.
The applicant interviews of city attorney candidates.
2 very qualified firms.
Got a little warm in the room.
Did it get warm?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't a unanimous vote, and that's unfortunate. But look, I followed the recommendation of the former city manager. Current city manager had been in the job all of 2 days, so I had no experience working with the current city attorney. So as I do with most things, the recommendation, the staff recommendation, in this case, the recommendation of the former city manager and the city clerk, those weigh very heavily. They work with the city attorney every day. I don't. So, yeah. So for me, it wasn't, it wasn't a difficult decision for me.
Right.
Yeah, there's some times where you don't want to start from zero, and this would be one of those times with everything happening all at once. I would think.
And the city attorney is simply an appointment, and it doesn't mean the city has in fact used more than one attorney depending on what the case is. If the city was in, for example, if it were some high stakes thing, for example, the city were looking to support a multi-million-dollar development in the downtown. And I like it when people walk by. We might have a frank conversation with the current city attorney and say, hey, do you need to have someone sit second chair, or do you want to sit this one out? So that's appropriate. But there are, I think the city consults with the city attorney probably more than people think. It's not all lawsuits, and sometimes it's just dumb, mundane stuff. There's no requirement for the city. We have to appoint a city attorney. That's in the charter. We have to appoint a city attorney. That's in the charter. So we did that. But the city is by no means limited to what firm can represent it in what matter. We have a separate labor attorney. Scott Cameron is not the city. He's not the city attorney, but he is our go-to guy. He is the attorney that represents the city in contract negotiations. So, yeah. So again, for me, it wasn't. You listen. Two very, very impressive applicants. Two very good firms, but again, when you have a recommendation, generally speaking, if you look at my record, if I have a recommendation from the manager and the clerk, generally speaking, I'm hard pressed not to follow that. So that's all I did. So, but it was fine. I mean, we have some, this is a good council. You get some different perspectives sometimes, and we're all different, but I think that makes for a good, healthy discussion.
This past Monday, the cemetery committee had a meeting. I know there's been some concern and some discussion about dog walking in the cemeteries.
Yeah, I never heard that one before.
I have.
Yeah, when you're an old guy, these conversations, you sort of, cringe when the conversation comes around for the 5th time in 20 years.
Is this something that will be discussed, do you think?
Don't know. If the cemetery commission wants to bring it before the council, again, listen to what they have to say. I'm one for respecting, the cemeteries, and I mean, we're very proud of them, and we do our best to maintain them. And I understand that there are some folks who are upset because people are walking their dogs and not, cleaning up after themselves. Personally, I'd grab the owner by the neck and rub their nose in it, and say, okay, there.
That's what should happen.
Bad owner. Owner. It's not the dog's fault. The dog's got to go.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just clean up after them.
Yeah. Look, we see this when you watch people at times, walk down the street and, they'll be eating something and they'll throw the wrapper right on the ground when there's a trash can 50 feet up the road that you just hang, Yeah, it's aggravating, but you got to react reasonably to it. So
we, you and I had a discussion about a week ago or so about the national average of energy costs, up over 41% right now.
Yep.
How is this impacting? And I know that you weren't. This wasn't on the agenda last night. But how do you think that's impacting renters and housing in and around Berry City?
Well, we haven't. I don't think we haven't quite seen the effect yet. Because if you think, if you look at the history, energy prices really peaked and were really stepped up in March, and in March in Vermont, you're kind of through the heating season. You're not
right.
So I think there were some folks who were a little shocked when when their oil supplier showed up and filled their tank, and instead of getting let's say a few hundred gallons, so instead of getting a bill for the normal $600, you got a bill that was double that.
Sure.
You got a bill that was $12.
Sure.
Fortunately, I think that was late enough in the season so that it was certainly it was a shocker for me first. That they leave a little ticket hanging on your door, and I use the same supplier, and they all price fairly, and they're all honest people. But man, the first time you get that, and you do a double take, and you think, wow, I've never.
Right. No way.
First thing I thought was my tank totally empty?
Yes.
And then so for some folks, fortunately, it was late enough in the season to where, instead of paying it in 30 days, it might have taken them 45 or 60, but they got it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, they just had to manage their household budget a little more tightly. But if you think about what that means going into this energy season with a full season of usage at a price of $5 or $6 a gallon, so that's going to hurt. And if you think about the average family and what they earn, their take-home pay, and then think about what that increase is, $2,000 or $3,000 throughout the season. So I don't think we've seen the effect. That was a long answer to what should have been a short answer.
So
we haven't seen the effect.
So
yet,
it's a
JD.
tidal
and that's
wave
going to all play into how the economy works and how it shrinks, and as households have less money and they have to allocate more towards heating, there's less money for other things. There's less disposable income. There's less dining out. There's less, there's less things.
Do you feel like there's a tidal wave that's brewing out in the middle of the ocean right now?
I think it has the potential. I think if as a country and as a state and as a municipality, I think if we all get together and sort of manage our way through it, I think if the Fed does a good job, I'm not sure that I disagree with the Fed's decision to raise interest rates. We haven't seen interest rates rise like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably 30 years or so. But I think the Fed's doing their best to manage it and to balance that. You got to raise interest rates to manage inflation, but if you raise them, too high too quickly, you're gonna plunge us into a recession. So
delicate dance.
Remains to be seen. The economy is this huge moving mass of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of, constantly moving interconnected parts. So, yeah, I'm confused. I got to tell you, no, I guess I liken it to, for the past 15 years, I've played offense. I was aggressive in business, acquisitions, doing things. And I played offense for 15 years, and that's all I did. Played offense every day. And now I got to play defense. And it's been a long time since I played defense, so I'm struggling with it. I'm learning it, but yeah.
Tom, there's been so much discussion in Barrytown lately about chickens, and not
fried or
You
boiled?
had to do it, didn't you?
Fried or boiled?
Raylene, I'm just trying to be
Barbecue.
transparent here.
Lord.
What about Berry City? Are Berry City residents allowed to have chickens?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Listen, I think everybody, there are some people who really are into chickens, just like anything else in life. And there are people who really do it well.
Yeah.
And then I've met a lot of people who thought it would be really cool. I'm going to raise, and it's like, the syndrome, I've got my home. I'm self-sufficient. I got some chickens, I'm living the dream.
Free range.
And then
Right.
Then you got to care for the chickens. And it's like, okay, after about the second or third week, all right, this isn't so damn fun. I hate these chickens.
Right.
And there are some people who are really good at it. It's like anything else.
Sure.
People have hobbies. People have, and some people are good at hobbies, and some people shouldn't be raising chickens. So listen. If our biggest issue, we joke around a lot about it because it's wow.
Yeah.
But if a few chickens are our biggest problem, then we
should be happy about that.
We're doing a pretty good job. And let me tell you, chickens are not our biggest problem. We have other challenges that we have to rise to, and
yeah. I got Josh telling me not to ruffle any feathers here, but the fact is that we don't want to wake up to the roosters crowing with our neighbor whose their property butts right up to the back.
I don't mind that stuff. When we're out at Joe's Pond,
deaf.
When Karen and I are out at Joe's Pond, let me tell you, the loons
Yeah.
out at Joe's Pond,
Right.
they're loud. And you notice it. And after a while, I like the loons. It's a comforting sound.
Yes.
It's sort of, you've heard people scream about Thunder Road and the noise that Thunder Road makes. And I think about, and I think back to, I don't really notice it. I mean, you notice it quickly like, oh, it's Thursday. Because I can generally hear, Thunder Road from my home. And it was funny because Miranda, of course, she lives out in Denver. She's going to be here in August. So, and I miss her.
Wow.
I got to not talk about her because I'll tear up. I miss her terribly. I do. And I love it when she's home. And I can recall, like last summer, she was home for a week or so. And we're up by the pool, and it's Thursday, and we hear Thunder Road. And she looked at me, and she smiled, and she said, "It sounds like home."
Yeah. Right.
And, so you get used to those sounds. I hear on Monday morning, when school is in session, I mean, I get a concert. The Spalding High School band is down on the football field practicing.
Right.
And I get a concert. If I come out the front door of the house,
sure,
I can sit and get a concert. And those are all.
And if there's
those are all signs of home. So would I care if it's a chicken?
Right.
I mean, I grew up on
as long
Washington
as it doesn't
Street
start,
on 302,
as long as
there
it doesn't start shitting on your patio, it's all good.
Or your
well,
deck.
I don't have.
Or your deck.
Right.
I don't have chickens, so there aren't any chickens that are gonna. And okay, so we don't have chickens, but we have fox that poop on the patio. We have the occasional bear that just kind of wanders around.
Right.
Chipmunks, for some reason, this year are crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're in attack mode.
They are in attack mode.
Seriously, we have this family of chipmunks, and then Chucky the woodchuck. Chucky the woodchuck has lived up under the barn and now, well, I guess it's not Chucky because there are babies, so it must be Chuckette. But there were baby listen, critters don't bother me.
I have an amazing.
They bother Karen. They're digging up. They're having a great time with the chipmunks. Are having a great time in her garden.
But what about the woodchucks? Have they been in the garden too?
The woodchucks really don't. No, they munch. No, because I mow a bigger field up beyond the barn, and in the morning when you get up, they're in the field munching.
Yeah.
So no, they don't really.
I have a solution.
They rarely come near. I mean, if they get within, on occasion you see them, but they rarely get within 20 feet of the house or the garage or.
Wow.
They got their own turf and.
I have a great solution for woodchucks, but it has to be a conversation off the air over a cold beer or two or three.
They don't bother anybody.
Yeah.
They dig their holes and.
Right.
But yeah, they eat. We don't do the vegetable garden thing anymore. We just.
But if
we did for quite a few years, but then you got to tend to it, and we didn't, and we were both busy. But when we had the garden, then they were like, okay, buffet, and they'd be out there.
Back to
munching.
the chickens, though. You don't want your neighbor's chickens coming up on your deck and maybe coming into your house.
I think most people do. They? Is that what happens, or is that what's happening? Haven't followed it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's not cool. I mean, if you want to have chickens, if a rooster wants to crow,
right,
whatever. Okay, but yeah, they shouldn't be running up on people's yards.
Yeah,
right.
Chicken dinner, if that happens.
Right.
It looks like chicken and biscuits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
we have exciting times.
We talked about the budget for 2 minutes, and we talked about chickens for 7.
Well,
we gotta
listen,
get our priorities.
We have exciting times coming. We have, of course, our farmers market today here on the Pearl Street Pedway. We've got our food truck Thursdays and concerts in Courier Park tomorrow. Tracy Lewis will be on the air with us. There's just so much. We've got the Heritage Festival that's in the pipe here. Downtown Towdown. Is Salvador and Babbitt going to be pulling this year?
Well, we've never had a team.
Yeah,
I haven't heard. I haven't heard that the council is going to be participating. I think the council will be in the parade.
Okay.
Because I did offer, if they want to need a truck and a trailer, I offered mine, and I think Sam Stockwell was organizing that. I haven't heard that we're going to be in the Towdown. So, I guess those days are gone, and I just have to bask in the fact that the city council legitimately beat the Vermont Ravens one year.
Seriously,
we seriously did. Everybody thought it was a fix, and I forget who was there. It had to be, but yeah.
Was Michael Booten on
Mike
city
was
council?
on it. Yeah.
Well, that's
Mike
why you
was
won.
always the anchor.
Well, that's why you won.
Yeah. No, he's a beast. He looks like this little teddy bear, and he acts all sweet. It's all an act.
No.
It's all an act. You get him competing, and it's game on, dude.
Yeah. And he gets
so
we
had fun, but there's so much to do.
Will Tom Lozon be running what he brung?
Oh, at Thunder Road?
Yes.
Likely not. I'm not allowed to drive my car of choice anymore. So that's Karen's car. I guess, I could run the
Would this be the Boxster?
BMW, but I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It would have been the Boxster.
It definitely would have been a Boxster.
All right.
But I'm not.
Nope, not
Yeah,
happening.
just don't go there. I'm going to get in trouble.
Listen.
Thank you for that.
We
love
you,
there's
man.
a lot of great things going on. I mean, we've got a lot of serious work to do. Got a lot of planning to do. We've got, the ARPA funds that we still have to figure out what we're going to do with those. And, there's a lot of challenges. Housing costs are up. Thankfully, we're seeing those costs decrease. But, we got to get serious about our challenges.
Carl Rinker was on the agenda last night from Barry Area Development.
Yeah.
What's the latest?
A lot of people looking for space. I mean, we get calls every day. I'm kind of surprised, by the demand. So, again, it was unfortunate that Cody Morrison, left for Keene, quitter. But we move on. Yeah. We've faced these challenges before, and I think in terms of our ability to compete and what Berry City has to offer, our water and sewer capacity, our infrastructure capacity, we can compete. If we all just work together and pull in the same direction, and we've proven that, before with the Big Dig and City Place and other major developments, we can compete with any other municipality in the state when it comes to hosting housing or hosting a business. So, if we all just work together, and that's what I intend to do, good things are going to happen.
It could be a little while before ARPA kicks in with the next big dig, which will be from the reservoir up in East Barry down into Barry, right?
You're just
that's a state.
I'm not stirring shit. That's a question.
Well, it's a state. That would be a state project.
Okay.
I mean, this was our downtown, so it was
But we have old pipes underground.
We do.
100 years old.
We do have some of the, I mean, as does every municipality in Vermont. We don't have crumbling infrastructure. We have a lot of streets that need to be paved and a lot of streets that need to be maintained. And, we don't pave the street when we see the first pothole. We patch the pothole and we prioritize.
Right.
And, but in terms of our infrastructure, if you look at, and I'm not going to name names or name municipalities because I'll get in trouble. But I can tell you from, my time in the center chair, there are municipalities in Vermont that are way worse off than the city of Barry. And I think that in terms of the planning that we've done, the way we go about paving streets and replacing infrastructure at the same time, it's efficient. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have water main breaks. You know,
That's
when
right.
you're when a faucet leaks in your home, you don't look at your home and say my home is crumbling. It's you know, when you figure how many miles of pipes there are, infrastructure underground in this city, and you look at the frequency or how often a water main break happens.
Berlin Street.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean, you know.
Sorry,
Okay,
Tom.
so 20 feet out of miles and miles and miles of infrastructure failed. It doesn't mean,
Right,
know,
and you
it
don't
doesn't mean it's
replumb your whole
crumbling.
house either. You don't. You do it as it happens.
Exactly.
You don't
So
say, "Oh, I got to
we gotta
replumb the
manage,
house."
You know, yeah, I'd love to be able to replace every section of infrastructure in the city, but I don't think people would like the resulting tax bill.
No.
At some point, we appreciate you coming in so much, Tom. Your time is so valuable to us. At some point, I would love to have someone on from the cannabis
Control board?
Control board would
Yeah.
be marvelous. If you could get me a name.
Yeah.
And
Well,
maybe,
James Pepper is the chair.
Okay.
And I've spoken with James often because, you know, again, I serve on liquor and lottery and we're a, you know, quasi enforcement board. So there's a lot of similarities between, you know, the two boards. And James, every time I've called him, he's been really generous with his time. And I'm sure he'd welcome the opportunity to come in and sort of give a little presentation on,
Yeah.
you know, sort of the state of, you know, the licensure and, you know, I think they've done a great job. I mean, it's
And how perfect.
It's new. It's a new industry.
How perfect all of our infrastructure will be once we tax marijuana.
No, I don't think marijuana is going to be. Remember cannabis? Not cannabis, CBD.
Yeah, sure.
Remember how hemp was going to save the world, okay? And I'm not saying it was a bust, but it didn't save the world. And I don't think, you know, any more than liquor and lottery saves the world. We provide, you know, in excess of $100 million to the education fund.
Yeah.
And we're proud of that.
I
And
made
think-
my donation last night to the education
well,
fund, by the way.
thank you. But you know, remember, there currently it is not legal at the federal level. So the audience for our industry, you know, the audience is 600,000 people, and many of those people are elderly. Many of those people are children. You know,
Yes.
so your consumer audience is even much smaller than that 600,000. So.
Right.
You know, folks have likened it to the craft beer industry or the distillate industry. It's actually not even equal to that because you can export craft beer.
Right.
You can export distillate. And believe me, I'm really proud of our craft beer and distillate industry.
Amazing.
I mean, we compete on the world, you know, those
Yes.
manufacturers compete on the world stage.
Right, that's right.
Well, we can't do that. You know, we can't compete on the world stage
Right.
with cannabis. There is no world stage. So I'm sure we're going to have some
California.
growers who produce, for those who choose to partake in cannabis. I'm sure they're going to produce a great product. I'm sure. But it's, you know, keep in mind it's a limited market. It's not, it's just, you know, it's going to be an industry, I think, that's going to be well run. I think the Cannabis Control Board is going to do a great job regulating and you know, it's going to be a industry. It's not going to be the industry. That's all.
Well said.
Sorry to bum everybody
no.
out.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Please, let's continue to make a habit of this, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Well, yeah, next Wednesday we'll have we'll see how that meeting goes.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Now, is that an open meeting or is that just for you guys?
No. It's not executive session. We're discussing the general fund and sort of state of finances. And so, no, anybody can come to that meeting. It's not going to be contentious. You know, I have my views. Maybe others don't agree, and that's okay. You know, not a big deal.
I don't
to
think
me.
it will be either. I think
No.
it'll be.
Everybody always waits for this count. You know, I have a lot of respect for everyone I serve with on the council. So, and I hope the feeling is mutual. And like I said, we'll have a discussion. I think it's going to be a good thing so that we can all be on the same page. Like I said earlier, there was a lot of confusion last night when we were talking about, well, what is the fund balance and what did we do and was this, there was a lot of confusion. So I think it'll be nice to pull everybody on the same page so that we can, you know, we can all kind of find
Well, it
common
makes
ground.
sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it's all good. And thanks for having me. I always appreciate visiting with the two of you and the opportunity. So thank you.
You're welcome, and we appreciate you, Tom, so much. We have heard from the, Climate and Health Program Manager over at the Vermont Department of Health this morning, Jared Ulmer, who's basically reminding us that the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for parts of Vermont. That's partly the reason that Tom's not wearing a tie this morning. If you've noticed, no tie. We've got hot and humid conditions across the state for the remainder of the week. The heat index values expected to reach 95 to 100 in some locations today. So warm overnight temperatures as well, making it challenging for anyone without air conditioning to stay cool. So perfect day for it to be National Daiquiri Day today, by the way. But again, some of the there's the potential for some severe thunderstorms tomorrow. We're going to let you know what we find out. When we find out, we got a close eye on it. Roger Hill's watching it as well. We're watching Roger Hill very carefully, too, so we will convey any and all information about the storms. But expect the potential for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. Thursday, it looks like just like last Thursday, any storms should be gone by post time at Thunder Road tomorrow night. Right now, showing about a 25% chance for lingering scattered showers or leftover thunderstorms for Thursday night. So things generally are going to be, or should be, okay, but it's more so the early part of the afternoon and into the early evening for Thursday for the potential for some strong weather. So Friday, sunny and hot, mid-90s. Again, it is, this is the, when we get a heat snap like this, we know that paramedic crews, EMTs, first responders are particularly busy dealing with heat stroke, not just from our elderly, but also kids who are out playing, having fun, and not drinking enough water. So be careful. Make sure that you are staying hydrated, especially if your job entails being outdoors. Not sure if Barstow Construction is going to be roofing today. I'm guessing probably not, but I know that he gives his, Rex Thompson, that is, gives his construction crew a little bit of relief when it's, 20 below zero or 90 degrees. But great people, and we love them. Barstow Construction, locally owned and operated and fully insured. They certainly know all the ins and outs of general contracting and can take care of all of your construction needs, whether it's window installation, kitchen redos, roofing, even new construction, siding, like they're doing at my house right now, custom homes, flooring. The list goes on, and if you'd like a free estimate, they're open 24/7 at barslowconstruction.com. Just get in touch with them. You can call Rex, or you can text him 249-3276, and he'll be over to give you a free estimate with a quick turnaround time. Find him on barslowconstruction.com again, or on Facebook. Great people. So, midweek gripe from our beloved Debbie the Downer. Boy, do we love her. JD, I have to, and I'm just getting this email this morning, I have to just ask people when they are in a crowd why they are so spatially unaware. People are walking without looking ahead, walking while talking or texting and not paying attention, walking while looking up or around without noticing that they're going to walk right into someone, walking against the foot traffic flow, even sideways, without noticing that people are dodging around them. Are we that clueless? See, this is where Debbie gets ticked. Are we that clueless when we're in crowds? Can we think and pay attention better? Well said, Debbie. And you know what? I think we'll share this. I think we'll start sharing the Debbie the Downer emails up on our platform so that you can respond and have fun. Debbie, who lives locally and has complained for years and years. Stories trending in Vermont this morning, in addition to the spongy moth outbreak. The spongy moth outbreak! United States Postal Service in Vermont experiencing massive delays because of staff shortages. Raylene's been posting that up on our page. I think that's the case in most cities and towns across America right now, and it's not just the United States Postal Service either. It's FedEx and UPS and all of them. Everybody is. Those that are working are putting in crazy hours and just busting their asses, quite frankly. Give them a break, especially in the heat. Give them a break. Be patient. Stories trending in Vermont this morning. We have a body found in Brattleboro, identified as a missing 23-year-old woman from Massachusetts, and the suspect in her disappearance has been killed by police. Police say the body of Mary Anderson from the town of Harvard was found dead inside her pickup truck on Elliott Street yesterday morning. Her former boyfriend, Matthew Davis of Fitchburg, Massachusetts, was being sought by police in connection with the killing, and he was found on South Street in West Brattleboro last night. Police say that Davis was shot and killed by officers when they tried to speak with him. So, not sure what that's all about. There's no more to the story, so not sure if he drew a weapon or what the deal was there, but he is no longer with us as a result of the conflict last night. Burlington School District leaders have released plans for the new Burlington High School and Technical Center. The plans for the $165 million school include a 750-seat auditorium, a 12,000-square-foot auditorium, and multiple outdoor learning spaces. District officials are hopeful that the new 268,000-square-foot school is going to be ready in the fall of 2025. Burlington High School currently housed at the former Macy's building downtown on a lease that ends in the same year, 2025. So we have a new survey that shows that Vermont Republican Governor Phil Scott is in a tie in the nation's most popular governor. The Morning Consult report shows that Scott tied at the top of the list with Mark Gordon from Wyoming with 74% of approval rating. Scott and Gordon have jumped over Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker, who falls to third now with a 73% approval rating. The governor at the bottom of the list, that would be Dan McKee from Rhode Island, whose approval rating right now, 38%. Wow. Let's see, what else do we have? The suspect in the sex assaults. News out of Barnett. Man arrested, charged with sexually and physically assaulting a woman, is a Vermont corrections officer, Michael Baker, arraigned in St. Johnsbury yesterday, ordered to be held without bail. Has been placed on paid administrative leave from his position as a guard at the Northeast Correctional Complex in St. Jay because of the arrest. Faces a possible life sentence if convicted on all of the charges that he faces. Unbelievable. The chief of the Uvalde School District, checking national headlines this morning, could be out of a job before the weekend is over. A CNN report says that school district officials are expected to fire Pete Arredondo when they meet on Saturday. He's been under relentless criticism since the May 24th mass shooting in Texas that killed 19 students and 2 teachers. Watch for that one unfolding over the weekend, but don't be surprised if he's canned. House has approved a bill that would protect same-sex marriage with a federal law. The Respect for Marriage Act is a response to the recent comments from conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who said the High Court should reconsider the decision that led to the legalization of same-sex marriage. So Clarence Thomas not having a popular opinion these days. So watch out for that story, which will be picking up steam and momentum here over the next, probably the next week or so. We're watching it carefully. Twitter's lawsuit against Elon Musk is going to start in October. So sad that we have to wait that long. A Delaware court on Tuesday ruled in favor of Twitter's request to expedite its lawsuit against Mr. Musk, the billionaire, after he withdrew his offer to buy the company. Musk wanted the trial to begin next year, but Twitter's lawyers accused him of trying to run out the clock by squashing the time for appeals. Let's see, what else do we have? A new Fox News study shows at least 181 educators in the United States have been charged with child sex crimes so far just this year alone. The charges range from child pornography to rape. The analysis noted that the actual number may be higher as it looked at local news stories to reach the total. So again, could be higher than that, but alarming. 181 educators. Amazing. In case you missed it, the Mega Millions jackpot now up to $630 million. No one matched all 6 numbers in the drawing last night. I think it was about 11 o'clock or so. We stayed up waiting for it, knowing that we were going to lose for $555 million. So that's what it was. So it's now up to $630 million. So the jackpot for Friday night, 630 mil with the cash option of just about $360 million if you just want to quickly give Uncle Sam his cut and move on. Community Spotlight concert at Carpenter Park in Washington. I believe it is tonight from 6 to 8. The community is working on having a weekly family fun event. Donna Thunder is going to be playing, I believe, again, that is tonight from 6 until 8. You might want to double check, but I'm pretty sure that is a go for tonight. The Berry City Farmers Market, as we were mentioning, kicks off at 3:30 this afternoon, goes till 6:30 tonight. Pearl Street Pedway, some fantastic vendors for this summer 2022. Join us every Wednesday. Berry Partnership puts it on. They do a great job. The food truck Thursday and concerts in Courier Park tomorrow is also on. We're going to be watching the weather carefully as we have, again, some potential for some pretty severe weather tomorrow. We'll check in just about 9:15 or so with Tracy Lewis and get an idea on go time for tomorrow. Also, Thunder Road Racing tomorrow, the mid-season championships. We're going to obviously let you know about that as well tomorrow. We're going to be watching the weather carefully, but all the storms should be, as I said earlier, moving aside and out of northern New England by the time post time is for the mid-season championships at Thunder Road. Countdown is on for the 2022 Barrie Heritage Festival, as we were discussing. The parade is going to be massive. Tracy Lewis at City Council Chambers last night discussing this. Over 70 entries for the parade alone. The Rotary Breakfast is going to be going on. The Downtown Towdown. It is going to be a fantastic Heritage Festival this year. We missed last year, but we're going to get back into it, and it's going to be great. Let's see. What's whacked this morning? We have police in Providence, Rhode Island, looking for a robber who took off from a strip club. Real news this morning. Not kidding. Google it if you don't believe me. With $22,000 in $1 bills. The owner of the Cadillac Lounge in Providence, Rhode Island, says he was getting ready to open the club on Monday afternoon, was counting money in the office when a man walked in, pointed a gun at his head, took $3,500 from an open safe, and then ordered the owner to open the other safe, which had $22,000 in it, in ones. Loaded all the cash into a bag, slipped out the back door, ran across some railroad tracks, and was gone. I'm trying to figure out what the weight would be on 22,000 single-dollar bills. If he was able to load all this cash into a bag, I'm guessing that he was kind of looking like Santa Claus. I don't know, but that's got to be a few pounds on the back. So far, they haven't found him. I'm watching that story. You can bet. Vermont Mountaineers powered past the North Adams Steeplecats, 12-4 last night. New England Collegiate Baseball, big matchup at the Montpelier Rec Field. Steeplecats, great team. Seen them play the Mountaineers several times. Always love to get to the park. I don't do it that often, but when I do, I just have such a great time. Mountaineers improved to 29-6 in the season. Are they in first place still? I believe they are, or tied in first place, something like that. They won their fourth straight game last night. Well, the Steeplecats dropped to 8-26. Vermont's last home game before the 2022 All-Star break is tomorrow. And that one's going to be a doubleheader against the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. First pitch of the game is 4 o'clock. Obviously, Game 1, you can watch it online, too, any CBL broadcast network. Tomorrow night, as we said earlier, midseason championships at Thunder Road. It is going to be an amazing night to get out. And speaking of racing, NASCAR is getting ready to celebrate its 75th anniversary season with its first ever, I got to see this, going to be on NBC, first ever street race in downtown Chicago 1 year from now, next July. The Cup Series will race a 12-turn, 2.2-mile course against the backdrop of Lake Michigan and Grant Park, all part of NASCAR's 3-year deal with the city of Chicago. Tickets for the race in 2023 going to go on sale later this year. Again, it's going to be televised on NBC. Got to watch that. The American League celebrating a victory at the Midsummer Classic. Not sure if you got a chance to watch or listen to any of the action last night, but the American League topped the National League 3-2 at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in L.A., the 9th straight season that the American League is coming away with a win. So that was just freaking awesome. And that's pretty much, I mean, we've got some national news. We got some Vermont news. We've got, of course, the hot weather, which is first and foremost. We can't emphasize this enough. Check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure your kids are staying well hydrated. Lily went off to camp this morning, and Sherilyn was just like, packing water bottles after water bottles in the backpack. So push the water. Everyone should be right here.
Yeah.
Push it. Drink it.
You know, and black water is fine.
Yeah, let's put the camera on you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Black water is fine.
That's fine.
It is.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
It works.
It's water that has been mixed with coffee beans.
Yes. And just a touch of cream and you're good to go.
And let's, Raylene, let's set the record straight here, okay? Mm-hmm. For those of you that didn't get the memo, beer is not water. Beer is made with water, but it is not water. So when we say stay well hydrated,
it's still hydration. I don't care.
Seriously?
Yes, it's still hydration. Especially after 5 o'clock.
Oh my God, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
And Gusto's is going to be what is it? Wing Wednesday, right?
It is Wing Wednesday. I know the deck is open, and if you don't want to be out there in the deck, then be inside where the air conditioning is. Amazing lunch menu. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that Heartless is on deck here for performing over at
The
Gusto's.
weekend.
Ooh. They're just, I mean, if you love Led Zeppelin and you love Heart, this, you really get a babysitter. Don't pass this up.
Right.
But, all day today, 16 sauces and rubs for Wing Wednesday over at Gusto's. Tomorrow, Thursdays, Thirsty Thursdays, always specials on pitchers and burgers. And I think they do karaoke on the second and fourth Thursday each month. No, that's open mic night, right? Yes, it is. So get over there. You deserve it. Kick back, relax, meet some friends, maybe find some people that you haven't seen or spoken with in a long time. Enjoy a cold beverage, some great music. Watch a couple of buffoons get up there and try karaoke. Just enjoy life.
Yes. Tomorrow.
We should go over and do karaoke sometime.
No, we shouldn't. We just should not.
I'll do Toto, Africa.
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead. You were saying.
Please. Tomorrow morning, tune in, 9 o'clock.
Right.
Because Rory will be joining us.
Rory Tebow.
And we're super excited about that.
Yes. And
we love having him in here.
Yeah.
This will be his third or fourth appearance. I'm not sure. With us.
Running for AG in Vermont.
Yeah. And he, too, has been really great about being open and communicative and wanting to be here and wanting to chat with us. So that's been wonderful.
I do want to ask him a couple of tough questions tomorrow. Hi, Tracy Lewis. Tracy's just walked in with brochures for the Heritage Festival, which, Tracy, we've been talking about all morning.
Yes.
And please do. Over 70 people going to be in the parade.
More than that.
That's more than that now.
Over 80.
Just pull that mic in a little closer to you so we can hear you. This has got to be a record because that's crazy.
I was talking to Carl Rinker this morning, and he said that in 1976, which was a great year, it was the 200th.
I wasn't born yet.
You weren't?
No. Go
He's
ahead.
lying.
Go ahead.
Oh,
He's
is he?
lying.
Because that was the year I was born. That's why I said that. That really tells my age. But he said it was the 200th anniversary of the United States.
Okay.
So I think he's what he said. And it was a 3.5 hour long parade. So
Seriously?
I don't know if we want a 3.5 hour long parade. But 81 entries as of about an hour ago.
Wow.
81.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Nice.
2 weeks ago, we were at 48, and I said we were 2 away, which we had 50. No, we had 48 3 years ago. And we were 2 away from that, and now we have 81.
Is there a limit, and what's the cutoff if you want to
The cutoff
register?
is next Tuesday, midnight next Tuesday.
Okay.
No, I'm not cutting anyone. If we get them, we get them.
That's awesome.
They're just going to have to walk faster because we're not doing 3.5 hours.
Right.
Right. Yeah, right. So last year, no Heritage Fest. So, I mean, we're kind of recoiling here. This is incredible.
Yeah, this will be, we haven't had one since 2019. So
Okay.
2 years off.
You need some help with your booth, with managing your booth. Did I read that right?
I could use a couple volunteers. I have some filled. But if anybody wants to volunteer, they can email me at director@theberrypartnership.com.
All right. Space is still available for
Vendoring.
vendors.
Yes, vendors. I've got a couple still coming in. So I have a map. There is a beautiful map on this. I'm super excited. I got an email from Carolina at L. Brown this morning, and I think I peeled in 2 minutes later after I got it because I was so excited about this.
Yeah.
Very.
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, those are nice.
Wow.
So looking at this, I don't have my glasses on, but because I made it, you can see the parade route. You can see where the stage is, where the vendors will be. This is a smoke-free event.
Yep.
So there's no smoking. There are 2 areas that we're going to have as designated smoking areas. There's the info booth, which is where in the gazebo where I'll be when I'm not running around. It shows where the Rotary breakfast is on Saturday morning. It shows where the tow down, where the car show is. It shows where the kids zone is. And then a bunch of pictures of different buildings throughout the city. So I'm super excited about this.
Awesome.
And then right here on the back, there is a QR code. The QR code will bring you to the full event schedule. This is all of the events, but on the website, there's description of each event. So if you want more of a description, like what is the La Soirée Sucrée, there's the description on there. And then, I can't thank my sponsors enough, and so they are all on the back.
Go right ahead. You got a microphone.
All right. So City of Barrie and Town of Barrie are the presenting sponsors. Downstreet Housing and Community Development and Metro Development are our City Hall Park stage sponsors. For fireworks, Community National Bank and J.A. Gould Plumbing and Heating. Those are fireworks Saturday night at 9:15. The Kids Zone is sponsored by National Life Group. Our gold sponsorship is the Renita Marshall Helping Hands Foundation, Nelson Ace Hardware, and Cody Chevrolet. Silver sponsors are Rainbow Bridge Community Center and Passumpsic Bank.
Yes.
Bronze, Richard J. Wabi Jewelers, Washington Electric Co-op, Dunkin' Donuts Barrie, Union Bank, Field & Field, and Fecto Homes.
Wow.
Nice.
And we had other sponsors, but this was their sponsorship level that they got on this kind of material.
Okay.
Nice.
Wonderful. Man, we got the brew competition coming up in October, too, at the auditorium.
Yep, that'll be during Fall Festival. So, yeah, we're going to do that again this year.
That means that Tracy is, by January, going to want a vacation.
You won't hear from me for probably the first 2 weeks of August. I'll be dead the first week, and then week 2, I am going to take my first vacation and go out of state for a week.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Deserve
I'm excited. But yeah, kind of funny that I brought these and you guys are talking about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about these.
They're nice too. They look nice. They're very well done.
Yeah.
I can't wait to look through it.
So
myself.
let's tell people if they want to grab a brochure to come here.
You can come
Come here. We'll get it to you.
I am going down Main Street right now and dropping them off into as many businesses as I can. So they'll be at businesses. I know Native Tongue is playing tomorrow night at the park, and Richard J. Wabi Jewelers has agreed to have a booth, and we'll be handing them out at the park tomorrow for me. I'll probably have a handful of them tonight at the farmers market. It is going to be warm out there. It's already 85, 86 degrees out. So that's actually why I'm here. I was hot.
God. Yeah, I mean, we're an hour and a half away from noon, and it's already this is crazy.
It's a little warm.
So, and we'll chat with you tomorrow morning, right around
Thursday already.
Tomorrow's Thursday,
is.
right around 9:15 or so. We'll check in with you. We're watching, obviously.
Everybody's watching the weather, but me. I do not watch it. You guys know that.
We're watching it for you. But we'll,
I think we're
if
okay.
you talk
I
about it,
think
you're
we're
in
okay.
trouble.
I know with Tracy here, I know
You
that.
know the rules.
I know the rules.
I think we're okay though.
All right.
I kind of briefly looked, and it's 30%. We'll put a tent up.
What will the plan be if there's catastrophic winds?
If it's really bad, we'll go up to the BOR. It's not canceled. We'll just go up to the BOR.
Okay.
But I hate going there. I mean, not that I hate the BOR.
No, right.
That's poor.
It's just not the
phrasing.
same
It's not the
atmosphere.
same atmosphere.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
everybody gets excited for Native Tongue.
Yes.
We've had a great turnout so far with all the bands and musicians we've had so far.
Sure.
And next week, Ali T performs
Yeah,
on
that's right.
Thursday night. So can I do a little plug-in about the La Soirée Sucrée? So
Yeah.
you kind of looked weird when I said it, so you might not know what it is. So the La Soirée Sucrée is next Thursday. It's during the Heritage Festival. It's Thursday at 5:30. And what it is, it's a French-Canadian dessert competition. And so people can bring their entries to Delicate Decadence or the Old Labor Hall up until 4 o'clock on Thursday. All the details are, just scan this code.
Yeah.
All the details are there. And then, so there's the competition. And then on top of the competition, Delicate Decadence prepares yummy treats. And Michelle Chouinier performs at the Labor Hall. So from 5:30 to 8:30, you get to listen to very sweet music, and you get to enjoy very sweet treats for a sweet evening.
That sounds fantastic,
Yeah.
actually. Really does.
So that's
is.
right up your alley.
Yeah. Anything.
Anything
With
with
sweets.
food, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
his
do
favorite.
have a great lineup of food trucks tomorrow night. I'm not going to talk about it today. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
But that's it.
Thank
All
you.
I got.
you.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
day.
Hijack this.
And again, we have the brochures here, so if you would like one, just stop in and grab one. We've got plenty here. And Tracy's going to be going around to different businesses right here on North Main Street momentarily and handing them out as well. So much to look forward to, Raylene. There really is.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate to live here. I know that some people don't think so sometimes, but
Right.
we truly are for many, many reasons.
Yeah.
And this is just one of them.
And let me just say, and I'm just going to say this as beautifully and as eloquently as I can. To my friends who have moved to Florida and the Carolinas from Vermont, kiss my ass. Because you're missing all of this right now. You're missing the amazing things that we're doing here in Central Vermont. And you're down there.
And many things.
Roasting your chestnuts.
Did you see the pictures of the sunset the other night all over Facebook? I want to show you something.
No.
All right, I'm going to show right here.
What-
I got to grab this really
Like
quick.
2 nights ago?
Yes. Like I believe it was, actually, it may have been Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Christine was at her camp on Joe's Pond and took these pictures. And this is a cell phone picture, mind you. No stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just literal.
No filters in $3,000 lenses.
No, and in my cracked phone is not going to do this justice. But can you see that?
No.
Tell me
Not from that far away.
Tell me what I got to do.
Tilt it down a little bit. Yeah, no, you can't see it. But we will share it.
Yeah. Can you see it, though?
I can see it, but the camera's not picking it up.
Just absolutely breathtaking, incredible.
That is amazing.
And it, right over Joe's Pond, and it just makes you...
I know.
I mean, how can you not?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, people... You know, you go to the ocean and you see that and you see the sunset and the sunrise.
No.
Have you ever looked here? Because, I mean, they are incredible.
Right in your backyard.
Yeah.
And you know, my
just so many things. And
my friends
the
that are
places,
down there.
the lakes and the ponds and the
Oh, I know.
creeks that you can kayak in and
Yeah.
in all of these just things that we can do peacefully. I mean... Yeah.
And my friends that are that are down south always say to me in February to kiss their ass.
I'm sure.
You know,
I'm
whatever.
sure.
Hey, today is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. What does this mean? It means that Wednesday is Ladies' Day over at Vermont Quick Lube, home of the 15-minute oil change. If you need an oil change, ladies and guys too, swing into Vermont Quick Lube and Car Wash of South Barry. You don't need an appointment. You can stay right in your car. Fast and thorough service that you can depend on. And these guys over there, they get it done right the first time. And that's what I love about them. Ladies get a flower and a car wash with their oil change today. And also, don't forget, 1 week from today, we're going to be there broadcasting live, Raylene, and it is going to be, we're going to have so much fun.
Cooking up some hot dogs, doing a little event.
It's
And
gonna
the
be
event
amazing.
will benefit the Bisson family,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you got to make a donation. You know, we encourage you to make a donation to drop your name in the hat for some prizes. They're going to be giving away free oil changes and all kinds of stuff. So swing on by. We'll be there from 11 to 2, 1 week from today, Ladies' Day over
I
at
think
Vermont Quick
I'm
Lube.
going to bring the boys ice cream today.
Over at Vermont Quick Lube?
Yeah, because you know it's going to get freaking hot in there, and I think they are going to need an ice cream this afternoon to just help their day get along a little better.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Let me tell everybody right now. There's code here. When Raylene says ice cream, that's code for beer.
You can't bring them beer.
I'm just kidding.
They're on the job,
Dumbass. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to bring them ice cream.
And don't forget that they are also hiring for a service advisor and a hood tech right now. So get over there, apply for a job. It is a fun place to work. Everybody is like a family over there. They, you know, how could it not be fun with Craig and Vern and Cliff? I mean, and Tim, poor Tim. Having to deal with those guys. I mean, it's just amazing. 476-7571 is the phone number to call. 476-7571. They're open Tuesday through Friday, 7:30 to 5. Saturdays, yes, they're open from 8 to 1. They're closed on Sunday and Monday. But a friendly, knowledgeable staff, an air-conditioned waiting room. We should mention that. Right in South Barry. Find them on Facebook and open 24/7 at VermontLube.com. All right. Thanks, Raylene.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Stay cool.
Have a great day, everybody. And don't forget.
Are you going to give me a hard time about the hitch? Am I get along again? I can see the look on your face, and you're like looking for your notes over there.
I had to write it down. If you got a little hitch in your get along. What did you say? You got the crick? What do you do with the crick's got a what?
I had a crick and it smarted, and you asked me what I was talking about, and I said, I have a little hitch in my get along, and you still you're just not getting it today, whatever.